Please welcome founder of the Semnani Family Foundation, Khosrow Semnani, and shareholder at Greenberg Traurig, John Huber.
Well, it's great to be here with you, Khosrow. I'm John Huber. This is Khosrow Semnani. And for those of you who don't know Khosrow, you should. He is just a shining example of the American dream. He's devoted himself and his family to Utah. He loves it. But he came to this country, and we'll talk just a little bit about that, many years ago, and with just about nothing, and made a huge impression on people, and very successful professionally, and started giving back to our community. And that's what we want to talk about today. You'll see up here on the screen a QR code for One Kind Act Today, which is a foundation that Khosrow Semnani and his family foundation fully funds to make a difference in our communities in Utah, as he has for his whole career. And now in the autumn of your career, he's taking a chance to turn to philanthropy and has done so much. But Khosrow, I think it'd be great for us to better understand how someone from Iran, with literally no contacts with Utah, ends up here in Utah in the 1960s and 70s, and in Westminster College up in Salt Lake City. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, thank you very much, John. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you. I want to take the opportunity and thank the university, the president, and other individuals who have been involved in putting this thing together. It's my first time to visit with you, and I thank John for being here and making this happen. Natalie Gochner, who's also involved with your university heavily, she's a good friend, and she's on our board as well, so thanks to all those people. I appreciate that very much. As for myself, I can comfortably say I'm probably older than 90% of the people who are sitting here, if I can see them right. So I've been here quite a long time. To be exact, I've been here for 56 years. So, and that plus a few years back there, so that's my age. I came to Utah quite accidentally. I came here to borrow some money from a friend of a friend, and by the time I got here, he had left for another destination. So that's where I stopped. And the pioneers, they say, that's where the wagon wheel broke. And that's where I stopped. And it's been an honor and a fortune, very fortunate for me to be in Utah. And I started my life in Utah at the age of 18. And when I think about that, it's been really the kindness and the welcoming that I received from people of Utah that allowed me to succeed, relatively succeed, and be a good member of the community and pay back. Essentially, it's my turn to give back. Most of you are in business here. You're starting your businesses and so on, and I wish you luck and I wish you success. But Utah is a place to be, and I'm proud to be a Utahn, whatever that means.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Hey, Khosrow, of all the business pursuits and the successes you've had in your career, Energy Solutions is one of them that many of us will recognize by name. Can you give us a brief background of how Energy Solutions came to be and what a success it was?
Sure. I had a luck and a fortune to study at Westminster College under a professor, Dr. Daniel Miles. He passed away last year, unfortunately. And subsequently, actually, he made an arrangement to work for Dr. Eyring, the father of Dr. Eyring, who was at Princeton and eventually ended up in Utah. So I had an opportunity and a fortune to work for him. And subsequently, under his recommendation, I worked for Kennecott Copper Corporation. Energy Solutions that was mentioned here was a company that I owned under the name of Envirocare of Utah. Some of you are, maybe you remember that name. But then when I sold it, they changed the name, became Energy Solution. The genesis or the background of that operation came after I had already opened up a facility for solid and hazardous waste. It goes back to the days of 1981, where when the EPA regulation went to effect. And that was just another piece of information. Actually, EPA was a product or the proposal that Mr. Richard Nixon, President Nixon, had actually proposed and eventually went to effect in '81. I had started a facility which is Clean Harbor now, again in Tooele County, that I started it, and it was Grassy Mountain. And then I sold that after about 6 months of ownership. When I got the licenses, I couldn't really carry it and invest in it where it had to go. So I sold that one, became a Clean Harbor, and it still is in operation. And from that operation, I looked for other opportunity with nuclear material. I had some background in it, and I started the Envirocare of Utah, the first privately owned radioactive waste disposal in the country. Subsequent to that, it was all either owned by the state or the counties. But our operation was the first one that was privately owned. And I operated it for 18 years. And it was successful. We served the federal government, disposed for federal government. We did it for private industry, universities, all kind of institutions. And then in 2004, I actually sold it to which majority of it was a firm in New York. And then some local partners here, they bought about 25% of it. So I sold the package to this firm, and then they sold it, part of it back to Utahns, and changed the name, became Energy Solution. And still exists, and it still serves the country. And I'm very proud of that.
That's a great accomplishment. And you have so many other things that you've been involved in, and noticeable things that if we talked about, the people in the audience would say, oh yeah, I know that place, or I've been there. As your career continued and the success that you enjoyed in the many years of professional success, though, you eventually started turning your attention more and more to philanthropy and giving back. Generally, that's something that you live out, and then specifically. And I know that, and we'll talk about today how you're giving back here in Utah and in the United States, but I know that you have been so very generous to help good causes very far away from Utah as well. Tell us what you learned in your profession that led you to be so generous to the communities you live in.
Well, excuse me. As I mentioned earlier, Dave, really my success was because of kindness, providing the opportunity, giving me the chance of the people in Utah. I owe my success to a lot of good people. I'm very sorry. And among which I have to thank some of the people that you know. Senator Hatch, he was one of them. I always be indebted to him. Dr. Eyring, another person that I owe a lot of my success. Many, many other people, the governors, the government of Utah, and so forth. But the work that we really did is I always looked, and this I think might be helpful to you, for the areas where there was deficiencies, and then I saw opportunity. When there's a deficiency, there's a problem, there is an issue, there is opportunity at the same time, how to solve it. And then also provide services to the government and industry, but also provide jobs and give back to the community. And as a result of this, in 1993, I started our foundation, Semnani Family Foundation. And we were involved, the first project we did was at the time Soviet Union was breaking up, and in Romania the medical conditions were disastrous. And a group called CARE, they approached me for some help, and we were the first contributors, one of the first contributors to a orphanage for children, young children, newborns that had HIV. That was our first project in Romania. And since then, we got involved in providing healthcare in one form or the other, and supporting healthcare programs through different religious organizations, including Latter-day Saints, working with CRS, Catholic Relief Services worldwide. And we had project on COVID with the Muslim group. I'm a Muslim myself, and a synagogue in South Africa. We got involved in anything that we could actually help the people, regardless of genders, regardless of race, religion, and so on. And we are quite, absolutely, there is no selective process. We just do what we can. And that probably was the reason that we were successful in our ventures and in our work. And today, since 1993, so we are over 30 years old in terms of our foundation work. And we are proud that we can pay back. And again, in Utah, being probably having the highest number of volunteers and philanthropy and so on, it is a good place to be and good place to work. So
that's great that you've been involved in so many things. Today, we want to spend a little more time talking about something. Some of the most beautiful things in life are the simple things. And this concept of one kind act a day and kindness and the difference that kindness can make. If you flash on this QR code, you'll be asked to take a pledge. Are you willing to take a pledge to do one kind act a day? There's no money involved. The Semnani Family Foundation has funded the whole deal. All you have to do is promise to do one kind act a day, and you'll get 2 soft prompts, one on Monday and one on Friday, giving you ideas on how you could do that. Khosrow, this concept that if everyone in our community or our state or our nation, etc., could do one kind act every day, the difference that could make. You've obviously studied kindness and the difference that it can make to be kind or to be unkind. Share some of your thoughts on why you focus so much now on kindness.
This goes back again to personal. I'm talking about myself, but please understand, I'm using myself as an example. When I think about it, it was because of kindness. It was that I became successful. It was because of kindness I managed to get good jobs. Because of kindness that I was able to accomplish what I did. But just as importantly, I don't have to sound like a preacher here, because I'm not. But because of kindness, you can feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, people feel better about you as well. There is no magic. I don't know why it is, but it is what it is. And it is addictive. It becomes to a point, many of my friends that are practicing that now, is they say they get an urge for doing something good during the day, even more than one kind act. They do it as often as they can because it's doing something good for others, but also it gives you a sense of comfort yourself that it is priceless. And I don't know what is happening, but it's there. And everybody can do it. You don't have to do anything special. You start at home, you start at your workplace, with immediate friends and so on, and then you can reach out. But ultimately, the benefits are there. And I can tell you, there is economic benefits there too. I don't know why. I sound a little bit maybe it doesn't make sense, but when you're kind, you get rewarded. Now, who rewards you? How you are being rewarded? Your friends, your coworkers, and so on. One study at Harvard University says for every dollar that the business spent towards well-being of the employees, it returns $2.7 back. That's not my number. It's a study that was done. And there's a book here that you're welcome to have if you want. I'll send it to you at any time free of charge. It's a study that was called the Wonder Drug. 7 scientifically proven ways that serving others is the best medicine for yourself. And it works. It is a scientific information that 2 doctors, Stefan Tizerek and Anthony Massarella, MD, both of them doctors, physicians. They've done this study. You're welcome to buy it yourself. You're welcome to contact us. I'll send it out to you for free. But this is something that works. And in 2021, when there was a lot of, when they continued the tension and so on, I always thought about what is it I can do that helps this situation. And that's where I started One Kind Act a Day. I talked to Governor Cox, thanks to him. He was the first convert. I told him, I said, Governor, I want to start something like that. He said, I'm in. I'll support you. And he has. And he has. And the legislature have passed resolution to that effect. 12th of April is the Day of Kindness. We'll have summit that we had last summit, and we will have it again at the University of Utah. You're welcome to come. There are many speakers there. They would be surprised. You know, the individuals who are supporting this, these are a number of well-known people that the president of University of Utah is there. The president of BYU is there. They will be speaking to that in the summit. Of course, John is a member of our advisory board. We have amazing advisory board, all of different religions, you know, that we have rabbis, Muslim mullahs, and we have Archbishop of Catholic Church. We have the Latter-day Saints area presidents. Everybody's in our board, and they are our advisory board. So I highly recommend you consider that. And like John said, feel free to join. We don't accept donations. All the expenses are paid by us. You get T-shirts, you get signs for your home, for your businesses, and everything. And we just hope that this kindness makes our life a little bit better. And if you look at what's happening in California, believe it or not, anything we can help them, it's a good time to help them. What is happening in other places of the world where there is need, anything we can do is the right thing to do. You know, I just can't stop talking about it. That's what I believe.
Well, you're making a difference. You've made a difference with me, so thank you. As an individual, we can commit to be kinder each day. Our family, our friends, our coworkers, our offices. Even cities in Utah have adopted this and obtained a certification of kindness. One of your acts of kindness was, you mentioned I'm on your advisory board, but as the former United States attorney, I made a lot of people mad, and I've been called a lot of names, but one of the best names I've been called you gave to me, Ambassador of Kindness.
Yeah. that's the best thing.
Well, so it's more than surface, though. It's more than just saying hello and putting a pat on the back, although that's a big part of it. I want to show a quick video clip of a difference that you're making. We know that the State Department of Corrections, that's the adult offenders, they've embraced this, but also the youth and those who are troubled youth who have gotten crossways with the law and maybe in detention for a time. Those people, the professionals there, have embraced this. So I wonder if we can cue up this video clip of the work you're doing in the Youth Detention Center.
Thank you.
The title alone just stands out to me. The marathon continues. Oh, it's hilarious. I think I get the same reaction every time, every mural project. The kids will be like, oh my gosh. I can see the doubt. I can see the resistance. I can see their guards are up. There's a new person coming in. But once when I was honest with them and told them, like, you don't have to like me. You don't even have to participate in this. I'm not here to force y'all. I was like, you will feel it though at the end.
Oftentimes, When you think about youth, you don't think about those that are in situations like this. They've experienced trauma and maybe they don't feel safe to be kind, and this is the place to have it. So through us being able to emphasize kindness and then sharing it with each other and passing that coin and saying, I see you, I recognize you. Now they're truly seeing each other and taking down like a lot of those barriers. I think like a lot of people understanding that when a community approaches you in a certain way, it's out of kindness and really understanding what that looks like for other people, I think everyone could take some time to learn about.
So even if they didn't experience love or community in their homes, they get to experience a piece of that today at the mural reveal event when they turn around and when they're just welcomed. When it comes to community, the reason why we even painted one of the kids, she had said, you know, when I get released, I hope that there's just a community of people cheering me on. And she said, I don't know what that's like. That's also one of the reasons why we even painted that. Something that I would like to instill in them and to remind them is that there are people ready to love them and they can create their own community. A kid, when somebody takes time to just pour love into them when they need it the most, so they have all of these tools around them to help them navigate in life and to remind them that what they're doing is making a difference, and that's been the intention. They know that they're important, that they're making a difference in the community, given the situation, given the circumstances that they're in. They're still a part of community, and they know that they're appreciated, they're important, and they're loved. I just wanted people to feel important, people to feel seen, people to feel heard. They're going to be welcomed with open arms and they're going to feel that love. And because they'll know what that love feels like, that they've never experienced before, they have the opportunity to not settle for anything less. And so that is something where they can own, they can change the direction of their lives, they can change the narrative that people projected onto them. Like now they have something, they have support, they know what it's like to be loved, they know what it's like to be a part of a team, they know what it's like to endure something difficult, and that their perspective on how they respond to these challenges means everything. And because they have these skills, they have these experiences, it can change the trajectory of their life.
Well, thank you. You know, my former career as a public servant, one of the big challenges we had was kind of breaking this cycle of recidivism, that people could not break out of this repeat character actions that they would take, the choices that they make. What are some of the takeaways from the program that you introduced into the Youth Corrections Division of our state? Was there success?
Yeah. We really didn't know what to expect, to be quite frank with you, John. We started with juvenile justice, as you saw this video. And this is in Farmington. There are boys and girls ages 13 to 18. They're just young kids, just young kids. And they were just another, correctional facility. They had violations, they had all kind of problems from time to time. It's just that when I talked to the governor and we talked to the people involved, they were very interested to see if they can try something new to reduce violations. And when we did that, when we went, and the boys are on this side, the girls are on this side, we had a partner, Mr. Mack. You've heard of him. He came and bought everybody, gave them brand new clothes that they were tailor-made, suits, and for the girls also suits as well. And then we had that mural that you saw that the kids were involved creating it about kindness. We didn't, like I said, we didn't know what to expect, but there it was. After a month and about 5 weeks of classes and so on, the boys the girls had 63% less violations, and the boys had none. Suddenly, they were now feeling that they are empowered by their own kindness, and they could control their own behavior as well as others. They would go around and help each other. And the girls, they got to a point that they became friends. The pecking order that happens in jails and in correctional facility, it just disappeared practically. We didn't know what to expect. And the girls, it's just really amazing. The girls went out, 13 to 18, the girls went out and they had their own fashion show put together in jail. In jail. And during that function that you have a film, the video of it, they were all supposed to come and talk. And you should have listened to them. One of them would just turn around, and we couldn't show their faces because that's illegal. They were talking about that there are just, every one of them are flowers that they haven't bloomed yet. They're baby flowers. And he said, we now know we can bloom. One of them said that. And I just couldn't believe it. These are practically her words. She said, we don't know. Now that we have a power of kindness in us, we can grow and we all have different colors and we can be beautiful. We have different smells. These are her words. I mean, these are the type, we didn't know what to expect. But their violations dropped. Recidivism dropped. I don't remember the number right now. And then now we are also in the prison in North Salt Lake. The people there, the first class we held was 14 people. The second class, 49 people showed up. And they take pride. And they're sending us notes that the place that is famous, a prison, there are no angels there. It's pecking order. They are saying that now they see angels. And all we are asking them is we give them a journal to write every morning, three sentences about what they can do to be kind today. Suddenly, they're still thinking differently. And that is not us doing it. It is the power that they've had it. We just facilitate it and we give them a journal to write about. And I'm telling you, I mean, this is just one area we are working. But as far as the extension of it everywhere, people, by kindness, they can feel good about themselves. That's the bottom line. The tensions that we experience, may be in social, maybe economic, maybe political, and so on, they're there, that they will be there. But with kindness, we can be better people because we all need each other. As other people, when I needed help, they provided help to me. It's my turn and it's your turn when the time comes. You help others. And you can start today. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a preacher, but I have to get the word out because I believe that. I believe that. Thank you.
Khosrow, this has been great, and I hope we've inspired some here. We have just under 2 minutes. What can an individual do, or an organization, a company, a department at the university, what can they do to take on this kindness initiative?
First of all, you have it. Everybody is kind. You're a gift that you're born with. You're born with kindness. And you practice it in one form or the other day. You do that. It's just when you consciously do it more, that's where the difference begins to really be seen and noticed. What you can do is sign up and let us be the facilitator, reminder. We want to remind you. We send you T-shirts. We send you sign for your front lawn. We send you prompt, like John said, twice a week. We can be there for you in terms of the things that you believe you need. Some restaurants, they want a sign to put it by the cashier, which we send it to them. These are people. Ivory Homes, one of our partners, they put signs in front of their homes that they're building. They are putting signs on their trucks. It's just a question of reminder. There's no way we can keep a track of anything. We don't keep a track of anything. You are the one who keep a track of how you can be happy. And that's all there is to it. And we are just a facilitator. Please feel free to join us. You can get our QR code, and anytime, and just be communicating with us. We've got a whole staff available, and they can help you with your businesses. It will pay back. I can assure you that.
Take the pledge. One kind act a day. Let's make a difference in our community. Thank you, Khosrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The tiniest moon.